Oh, so he was fighting his ability, and then he just sort of like, what the frick is this situation? What is this situation? Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs Dead Apple. I finished. Well, last episode was the sort of no side story, but it was focused on Konikita, right? And they basically were naming him the successor of the president in case something happens to him and everything. And after I saw that, I saw a comment on the previous episode about me watching the movie. I didn't even know that there was a movie. I was just gonna be, on Crunchyroll when you're watching stuff, the seasons and whatnot. I just keep going to the next episode, right? And the next episode today would have been the first episode of season 3. But the comments said that usually people watch this movie before they watch the third season. So I'm like, if I read not what's gonna happen in the episode or anything, but someone saying that this movie sort of like wraps up some storylines or something and then sets up what's gonna happen in season 3 or something or that like that. I don't know. So it's clearly I need to watch this before I watch the first episode of season 3. So that's what I'm about to do. I don't know what this movie is about, so let's go. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please go to Super Patreon, patreon.com/feeling and now let's start this episode. And here we go. I'm watching this movie on Crunchyroll. That's what I watch on my animes. So yeah, let's go. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna need to watch parts of this movie all over again, but it's already late. It's like 10:45 p.m. and like I don't have the bandwidth to rewatch it right now because I was confused. I was so super confused after Dazai and Fyodor entered the room with all the crystals and stuff. From that moment on until Dazai supposedly died, and like I did not understand anything that happened in there. And then when Fyodor was talking about, do you know why my ability has never left me because I'm crime and punishment and whatever and whatever, and then they joined together, and then he had the skull. What was his name? Skull in his hand. He put the crystal on there, and he's talking about the singularity and like I don't get it. I still don't get why. Clearly, Asuchi's ability is some kind of special ability that people are vying for, or something or other like that. But why? He transforms into a tiger. What is so special about that? That this guy is like he wanted to get that ability because apparently it's the ability to end all abilities or something or other like that. I don't know. And he was torturing. Oh my gosh. For that one moment where I thought he was his father. Okay. And then he was torturing a baby Asushi, and like his crystal, I'm guessing that's the word tiger as a crystal, his ability as a crystal that was coming out of him, and then he like got it back, swallowed it back, and then killed this dude, and somehow he got resurrected. I think they explained all of that when they were in the dome of the crystal stuff, but I didn't get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to need to go back and rewatch those scenes, man. 'Cause it was like, I feel like I did not get anything at all of what was happening there. They started the movie with this thing, the dragon head conflict that has been happening for like 88 days, I think. And Shibusawa was there, and apparently he was sent there by the government, like Ango's people. They sent him there to end the conflict, but then they this is if I understand what Chuya was telling Ango, they had him in their pocket, sort of like some kind of insurance against gifted people, because he can separate their gifts from them and acquire it or something or other like that. So they had him in the back burner in case some kind of gifted people were starting to overtake Yokohama or something or other like that. Then they can summon Shibusawa and he can come do his thing. But Shibusawa just went on his own tangent and started doing his stuff during the conflict. Chuya and Dazai, he again faked being captured until Chuya got there, and then Chuya used corruption, right? And that was the last we saw of him going after Shibusawa. And then they're like 6 years later, and we saw Asushi, and he came to get Dazai, who was at Oda's grave. And then they told them about the mission, about these gifted people being killed by their committing suicide. That's what they thought, but it wasn't really it. It was their abilities killing them after they got separated from each other. Excuse me, from their owner, from themselves. Either way. So the fog comes in, and then I guess it's the fog that separates the abilities, I'm guessing. Like I said, I'm so confused. Even how and did Fyodor say that he was the one creating this fog? I'm confused, man. Oh, my goodness. So the fog happened. Everybody's abilities got separated from each other, and the only way that you can get your abilities back is by defeating your ability, your gift, right? So Akutagawa defeated he first dropped the his ability inside this molten lava thingy, but the thing just like crawled back out. And then he placed the bomb inside, and he's like, at first he was so proud of his ability for being able to survive the lava fire thingy, whatever. And then he placed the bomb inside of it, and then the crystal broke, and he got his ability back. Asushi helped Kyoka with hers. Because her sword broke at one point, and Demon Sinnoh was about to stab her, and Asushi had, was it a brick of some kind, and got in front of the sword. The sword was stuck in there, and Kyoka was able to take the hilt of the sword that was broken or something like that. That didn't break the crystal, and then it was Asushi's turn to sort of like stick the brick and the sword or whatever all the way into his dagger, and that broke the crystal on the dagger as well. So everybody got their abilities back, but Asushi's abilities wasn't totally back yet. So it's like, what's happening? So the others left, Akutagawa and Kyoka. They left Asushi behind, right? And throughout, well, ever since they mentioned Shibusawa, ever since he saw Shibusawa, he kept having these dreams and whatnot, but he couldn't quite figure out exactly what it meant, and it wasn't until he started having that the guy that always speaks to him tells him that he's worthless, and wanna tell him not to open the door, and that if he opens the door, that he has lost his ability, so don't open the door, and then you can go live whatever. But once you open it, you're gonna know the truth or something or other like that. And I'm like, okay, what is he gonna know? And whatnot. And then he opened the door, and then it was sort of like a pathway to his memories of when Shibusawa was torturing him and all of that. You know, in order to draw out his ability. I still need to go back and look at all that, man, because I'm super confused. Like, what is it about Asushi that makes it so that so many people are after him? You know, you have this Shibusawa guy that is so after his ability that he's torturing him. You had Francis put a bounty on him because he's gonna lead him to a book. When they even mentioned the book at the end there, with Fyodor was like he wants to, I don't know if he's destroy the world or whatnot, but then he needs the blank page of the book or something or other like that. I'm assuming it's the same book that Francis was after, you know, that Asushi can lead him to. So it's like, I don't know. You know what? I feel like you know, I'll say that later. So at the same time that he was having those flashbacks and whatnot, those memories, you also had Fyodor, after he sort of like killed a second time or sliced Shibusawa the second time, and he was on the verge of death. And that's when he recovered his memories, and he knew that he already died because Asushi killed him and all of that. And then they were sort of like having this conversation between the two of them at the same, sort of like talking to each other. Because you had Asushi was there, like stuck saying the same thing over and over again, and then you had Shibusawa also there, and it seems like they were talking to each other or something or other like that. But would they really be talking to each other when they were like at different places? I don't know. But either way, and then at some point, Fyodor like a crystal stuck the crystal into the neck, the skull, and then he was revived with all this ability. And then there was the dragon also that appeared at some point. I am so confused. I am so confused. Yeah, the dragon appeared, and then at one point during the episode, Uncle was calling out to an ability that he named. He didn't call out the person's name, but he say, was it A51 something or other, I don't know, gifted person. I'm like, okay, who is it? And he said the dark glasses or glasses dark, I don't know, either way. He said dark and glasses. I'm thinking it's either Yosano, because she's a doctor and she wears glasses, or it's Mori, who's a doctor and wears glasses. It never occurred to me that it would be Ango. And so it was Chuya. Chuya showed up and he's like, you owe me. But then Chuya's like, no, you're the one that owed me because of what happened previously. You're the one that brought Shibusawa into Yokohama, into the conflict, and my people died, so you owe me. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you, but it's gonna be in return for your life. But then the dragon showed up. The Chaos Dragon showed up, so he was going after it. And then Ungo is like, if you go after it and if you do corruption, you're not gonna be able to kill me. And you know, and Daza is probably already gone, already dead. And he's like, nah. Like I love it, man. Like I really do. The trust. The confidence that he has in Daza in not dying, in being able to survive whatever situation was going on there, for him to be able to bring him back from corruption. I'm like, it is so cool, man. I really love it. The complete trust. And he went after the dragon, threw a whole building into the dragon's mouth. What? So he destroyed the dragon. You see, the guy floating in there and whatnot, and then he punched him, and the before he was that guy was in Lupin, the bar called Lupin. He was in there having this sort of like imaginary talk between him and Oda, and then he got up, has taken this pill. I'm like, okay, what is this pill? This pill turns into an apple. I'm like, okay, what is that? And then it wasn't until I'm like, okay, they stabbed Dazai at one point. Okay, they said they killed Dazai, and then his ability separated. And I'm like, there's no way Dazai is dead, right? Like, there's no way. The thing was poisoned. Duh. It was poisoned. Like the dagger, there was a dagger through the back, but then he said like there was poison on the dagger. So this guy already imagined this scenario happening, and he had an antidote in his mouth. And then, first of all, if you have the antidote in your mouth and why did you not break it after the? Either way, like the thing was in his mouth, right? Like when Tria punched him and broke the activated the antidote and whatnot, it looked like it was in his mouth, and the thing broke. So if it was in your mouth already, why couldn't he just break it? Or did he just like passed out? He didn't have the time. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then they said that. Then they said during the movie that once you're dead, the ability separates from you once you're dead. So that means that should have meant that Dazai was dead, right? Would an antidote work on a dead person? It shouldn't. And so that means if Dazai wasn't totally dead, his ability shouldn't have separated from him, right? But either way, Tria had the trust. So he punched him, the thing broke, Dazai woke up, and then he used his ability to stop corruption. And yeah. And then he was like, okay, now it's gonna be up to the others to stop Shibusawa, you know. And they did. Akutagawa showed up. Kyoka showed up as well. And then Asushi. And they fought him. And then it was up to Asushi. And then Asushi and then the crystal broke. And then the skull was crushed. And then that was it. They defeated him. But then Fyodor is up there somewhere doing something. I don't know. You know what? This movie is gonna be uploaded after the last episode of season 2, right? So I will probably watch this thing again before I watch the next episode, because like I say, I was confused. Once I rewatch those things and I fully understand, I mostly understand what's happening, then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more. But as of now, like I'm confused. The guy showed up, he did his thing, they defeated him, and now it seems like Asushi is now, him and the tiger are like, he accepts the tiger now, because before he was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that, with the tiger and everything. But now he accepts the tiger as himself, because at one point during the fight as well, the was coming out, and he's like, no, that's me, and then he took it back. So he fully embraces his tiger, you know, from now on. Kyoka as well doesn't hate Dimensional, even though Dimensional killed her mom, and then the phone was belonged to the mom. I'm like, oh, that's why she holds on to it so tight. So we were super nice. Like he was so super nice. When Mori and his ability was what's her name again? Irene? No. Was that I feel like I'm wrong with the name. Elise Chan. Like his ability was Elise Chan, but then there's a real Elise Chan. So I'm like I'm confused about that. But he couldn't like defeat Elise Chan because you know how much he cares about her. He couldn't like kill his own. He couldn't dare. And then you have the president there facing his own ability, and the ability was like the ability was telling him that if he doesn't have something or whatever inside him, he's never gonna be able to defeat him. And then they were like, "Oh, nice to see you, nice to see you." And then they switch. And they killed each other's abilities, and then they went their separate ways. That was really cool. Like I really love it. For some reason, not for some reason, I really love when enemies join forces and help each other out, and then go back to being enemies. I don't know. I really find that really cool. Everybody is alive at the end of it. I'm like, thank goodness. You know what? Why I was worried? I said at one point that I was worried, even though I know there's a season 3 coming, that I was worried. It wasn't that I was worried about the people at the agency. I was worried about the president, just because the previous episode they were talking about what if something happens to the president, it's gonna be Kunikita that's gonna take over, or whatnot, that's gonna become the new leader and whatnot. So that's why when this movie was happening, I'm like, I hope nothing happens to the president. That's what I was thinking, even though I didn't say it. So I'm glad everybody got out of this movie intact. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here. I enjoyed this movie, but I was confused. Like I was so super confused with that whole Crystal, Fyodor, Dazai, like team up, and then betrayal, and then I was so confused about all that, and also Asushi and what his ability is. I don't know. I'm gonna rewatch those scenes, and then if I understand it, I guess I'll talk about it later. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, which will be first episode of season 3, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/FreeLemini, and you can also see the full length of this reaction and all my previous reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.